Welcome to Wine with Friends, where meaningful connection and thoughtful conversation are always present when we share wine intentionally. This evening, we have special guests, the founder and chief adventure officer at the Olive Road, Amy Hallett. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Tell me more about chief adventure officer. It's a hell of a C-suite title.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things. I like job titles that more encompass what it is that you do.
Sure.
And that's kind of what I see my role as being, someone who's curating unique adventures for folks who want that.
So tell us, what is the Olive Road?
Yeah. So the Olive Road, we say our tagline is tasteful travel for the smart, curious, and hungry. So what does that mean? We're looking to attract a intellectually curious, culturally curious group of travelers who want to go places and see people and engage culture in a way that they probably wouldn't or couldn't otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So how do you think that fits in with this lovely bottle of champagne you got right here?
It explicitly fits in, Marcus, because we're going here.
We are indeed. We are looking forward to going
Yeah.
to this Charles Heidsieck winery next year.
A year from now, yeah.
Give us a little teaser on that.
I know.
You know, I love this champagne. I know that you do as well.
Yep.
Charles Heidsieck, founded in 1851. This Brut Reserve is non-vintage, but has 11 different vintages in it, 10 of which are reserve wines. The base vintage being 2018. Been very grateful and blessed to get connected with this winery over the last couple of years. And so love that we get to share this tonight. It's not the first time that we've had this.
Yeah.
Is it the first time we've had this?
Yes, together, yes.
Together it is.
Because I couldn't make it.
How about that? I love that. All right, so tell me about opening champagne. You seem like
I'm a little nervous watching you because I'm like, that thing is that could poke my eye.
So you don't think I got this under control?
I believe in you. I don't trust the champagne.
So
I trust what I'm hearing.
You see that?
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting though that you mentioned that. How many times have you seen someone take the cage off of the champagne?
Oh, all the time.
Without their hand over the cork?
I literally.
Man.
Yes, please. I hosted some friends the other night and I did an all sparkling wine dinner.
Okay.
And God bless my husband. He offered to open the wine. And I'm like, I don't think you should. And he's like, what? I've opened. He did fine. But I knew the first thing he was going to do is take off the cage. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's what it's there. That's why it's there.
Stays on?
Yeah.
Would you like to taste?
Oh, I'd love to taste.
Fantastic.
I also really appreciate that you're using real wine glasses for champagne.
Yes. I'm always the one who makes the server go back and get me different glasses. I try to remember to tell them at the beginning.
I'm really happy.
But I do love drinking out of wine glasses. I once heard that drinking champagne out of a flute is like going to the orchestra with headphones on.
No, it totally makes sense because champagne is a really complex wine. You're not gonna, if you can't allow the air to get in, if you can't allow yourself to smell it, you're not gonna get it.
Okay, so then this makes me feel like you should talk a little bit more about that, right? Like getting air in the wine. You're not some silly snob just swirling your wine around.
No, it's not.
Like
I feel self-conscious. I don't anymore because people who know me just know I'm going to do this. But it releases the esters.
Yes.
That you can smell. So esters are that is like objectively speaking what makes an orange smell like an orange.
Got it.
It's like a different chemical compound.
Got it.
So you can smell what is in this wine, which, is a lot of things.
We're going to get to that.
You have fruits, you have nuts, you got toasty stuff. There's a lot.
How many people think you're crazy when you're talking about that?
I don't know. I think if you're throwing out crazy ass stuff in the middle of, just sitting down to dinner, having some wine that you don't need to think too hard about, it's like, that's obnoxious.
Right.
But if you're sitting down to intentionally examine and take in a wine, I think that's a really interesting thing to see because different noses pick up different things. I'm really sensitive to smelling certain things. You're probably really sensitive to smelling other things. And a lot of it has to do with like what do we grow up with in our kitchens and
Not champagne.
right? Not me neither. Yeah, that's a relatively recent thing in my enough.
There you go. How did you get into wine? Do you remember the moment that wine became a thing for you?
I do. It was a big deal for me. So I studied abroad in France my sophomore year at Carolina. So I was 19 or 20 when I went there.
Okay.
So I was in Montpellier, so southern France.
South, yep.
Yeah, basically a huge college town. So it's an amazing place to study abroad. But I basically enrolled at the university there, which is a really fun, immersive experience because university in France is very different than going to Carolina.
Yeah.
We didn't have class a lot because of strikes, et cetera. It was
Strikes.
the cafeteria was so good, and we got wine,
Wine at lunch.
at lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, between
wrong with that?
classes, But no, so my first real exposure to wine was in France. So I lived with a host family, and my parents they were elderly. They were these old people who needed to still supplement their lifestyle. And so they had students, and they loved to share their culture. So one of my first, it's such a just etched into my brain memory of wine, is my host mom in the middle of the afternoon, vacuum in one hand, glass of rosé in the other. And I'm like, I need to know more about this world of wine. And so my entry into wine is very much related to my entry into thinking about food more deeply. And to me, the connection between culture and food and wine is absolutely essential. So that kind of initial experience with all of that kind of set the tone of what is now a career. Yeah.
Did you have any idea at that time that you'd have a career in wine?
No, of course not. No. But I was the person who this is, I'm going to out myself for how nerdy I am. I got back and then, I'd be dragging out friends, be like, who's going to go to jazz night with me at whatever wine bar? And we're going to try these different wines. And that was my college drinking,
I mean, honestly, that's a lot better than most people's college drinking.
No, I know, but it's they would be like, oh, did you hang out at He's Not? I'm like, no, literally never. I was going to jazz night and wine bars and,
Awesome. Well, I love that.
Yeah.
Being a wine nerd now, I certainly appreciate that. Yeah. I think anybody who's in the world of wine is somewhat of a nerd
Totally.
to some degree.
Totally.
No disrespect there at all. I love it. So you mentioned that your host mother, glass of rosé in one hand, vacuum in the other hand, which I wish that we could find a picture of something like that.
I know. I wish I took a picture.
Tell me, was rosé your kind of, what kind of wine was it that got you interested in wine?
Honestly, not specifically rosé. It was my host parents were amazing in this way that to them cultural education was food education. And so we ate dinner together every night. And every night, they had their farmer, and I went to their farmer from whom they got the wine.
Yep.
And they would fill up this huge jug that would last them, a week or two or whatever. And then they'd go back and fill it up again.
Very cool.
So we would drink whatever we had from that guy at dinner every night, but then the cheese map would come out.
Oh, the cheese.
So there's literally a map of France with different cheeses, and they would lay out the cheeses, and we'd take a cheese, and they'd be like, this cheese comes from right here. And I love cheese as much as I love wine. And so to me, there's just full, complete picture. So no, it wasn't a specific type of wine.
Okay.
Certainly I think my tastes now are a lot more sophisticated. I think as most people, I just wanted big fruit and, it's very approachable. Yeah, I don't know, everything.
I get so fired up when you talk about cheese.
Yeah.
People don't realize how amazing real good cheese is.
Yeah, I know. And the cheese course is being a daily thing. Yeah.
All right, so do you want the cheese before your meal or after your meal?
Honestly, I don't care, but I love in France this cheese as dessert kind of thing.
Certainly.
I would choose that over most desserts. So,
Gosh.
yeah.
I love that. I love that about you. So how many trips now have you taken to France? I got to imagine traveling to France, falling in love with wine in France. I got to imagine that that's a place.
How many
you're
times have
curating
I
trips.
been to trips? So this will be our third actually to France. We've gone a lot more to Italy. And our first time taking folks to Champagne. I'm excited about this trip on a lot of levels. One, a lot of people go to Champagne, but as like a day trip from Paris, boom, 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 through, the huge houses where, you drink a lot, you go back. Kind of like a Napa experience. Do you know what I mean?
I don't.
Okay.
I've never been to Napa, but I have heard that that is what you.
Yeah, exactly.
What you
like you
there.
do 4 wineries in a day. You get super sloshed.
Yeah,
you have fun, but that's what it is. And that very much is not what the Olive Road is. So we'd rather in a week see 2 producers and spend a full day with each of them, and fully immersing in that story and the vineyards and the cellar and everything, eating meals. And we're actually going to get to do that in Champagne, which is kind of unheard of because of all the winemaking regions in France. And that's literally all of France. Champagne is the least accessible in terms of one, there being actual growers. So people who are farming the land that then produces the grapes that makes their wine. Yeah.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Absolutely, I could go on forever.
Well, tell us a little bit about
growers
versus these bigger houses that maybe everybody's heard of.
Yeah, so the bigger houses who everybody's heard of are only able to sustain their production sizes, which are absolutely insane. I mean, I'm talking
millions of cases a year.
Millions of cases. Because the vast majority of grapes grown in Champagne as a growing region are sold to them. It's very expensive to own land in Champagne. It doesn't have as long of a, family winery history as other regions in France. And for that reason, the houses that, grew to prominence earlier on kind of had that buying power. And it's the same in Bordeaux, the whole négociant thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there are still, though, a lot of very small scale growers who largely don't even export, or if they do, it's, their production's small, so it's small quantities. So to actually get to access folks who are deeply connected to their land and are growing, it's the start to finish. And so many of those guys, when I visited in the past, said, oh, we bottle the best 50% of our production and we sell the rest to, I'm not going to name the champagne, but big name, big dollar champagne. And I say, well, why don't you keep that for yourself? And they're like, oh, it's not, I don't want to put my name on it. It's not good enough.
Big names aren't always the best.
Big numbers aren't always the best. But I'm really excited to be able to open that world to people.
So you said something really interesting. And we were very lucky to be a part of a wine dinner a couple of nights ago.
Yes.
Here locally in North Carolina. And one thing that I heard the chef say before dinner got started is the importance of the story versus the score.
Yes.
A lot of times we get really caught up about, this wine has a score of 93 points, et cetera, but we have no real connection to the story. No connection. And so kind of getting back to this idea of that intentional and thoughtful approach to this, tell us what it means to be there on site, meeting with the growers, learning the story and how that can help shape your experience versus just saying, hey, this wine is a 95 pointer.
I think it changes everything. I think the same way that knowing someone, whoever it is, who's very different from you or has very different views from you or whatever, all of a sudden they become human and there's this space where you can meet each other as humans. I think it's the same as wine. Wine can be something that you just consume, but it can also be an opportunity into a story, into a culture, into a place. And by engaging with the people who make it, you get to enter into that.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know this about me already.
Yeah.
I also fell in love with wine after my experience in France. Yeah. And it was the same thing, not necessarily connecting to the growers and the winemakers, but just this idea of the culture.
Yes.
And that we sat down for hours to have a meal together.
Hours.
And that we had a bottle of wine for lunch. And, everybody was there together,
Yes.
sharing from this communal bottle. And for me, it's like, let's go out and have drinks. That's cool. But you're getting a gin and tonic and I'm getting a beer and somebody else is getting, but like when we sit down at the table and we all are sharing from the same bottle,
Yes.
that connection feels different.
Yeah.
And it feels more intentional. It feels more important. It feels easier to put the phone down and just be together. And that's something that I've always enjoyed about it.
I know you're interviewing me, but I have to ask you a question now.
Please.
Just with this whole France thing, because I had a strong reaction to it. What was your experience with adjusting to this like noon to 3 o'clock hour in France where everything is closed?
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
And by time I had gotten to France, I had experienced it in other European cultures already. So I was familiar with the idea that things aren't open all the time.
Right.
And that you have to plan around those little breaks where people are taking off. It was a challenge at first.
Yeah.
But once you understand it and you understand why, it becomes something that you lean into with really no issue at all. Right. Because again, you're at lunch with your colleagues or your family or your friends, and it's time that is spent together in a really powerful way. I also had a little bit of a different experience being a professional athlete. And so like that was typically the time where I was taking a nap anyway. So it worked out great.
Perfect.
But in the few times that I was having lunch, it's just awesome to just feel that. I mean, the pace of life.
Oh, I know.
It's just so different.
You can't compare.
You can't. You really.
I mean, you can in that it's a complete contrast.
Exactly. Just go all the time versus like, let's take our time. I mean, they're just as productive.
Yeah.
There's going to be some arguments out there where, people are trying to contradict that. But ultimately, all these countries are still very successful. But they take their time. Right. And they're very meaningful and thoughtful about everything.
It's hard to do here.
I agree.
It's hard for me here.
It's hard for everybody here, I think.
Okay. You're like more champagne to that.
More champagne, please. Okay. Connections through wine. What are some people that you've met, experiences that you've had through wine that really stand out to you? I mean, outside of your mother vacuuming with rosé.
I mean, that was an amazing entryway. The first person that comes to mind is a woman who is about my age named Francesca Vira. Her family owns GD Vira. You know GD Vira.
Yes.
So Francesca's a really good friend of mine. And I met her because I used to sell her wines. Okay. And she came and, she did market visits annually, and she came and was assigned to work with me for a day. And it was literally the day before my rehearsal dinner. And she's like, "You're working? Like, you're getting married in 2 days, like where I used to work." And I'm like, that's going to happen. You're here. Right. Here. The whole America.
Just work all the time.
Right. Exactly. Like, we're in America. We do things like that. We're crazy. But she and I became really close friends and have kept up throughout the years. And I have gotten the opportunity to spend time with her family too. And the way in which, they make some of the most famous wines in the world, right? But the way that they are so humble and grounded and deeply intentional and thoughtful in everything they do. I mean, the way the architecture in their winery is for both beauty and to be ecologically sound, and the art that they have, and these stained glass. This place has beautiful stained glass, but theirs is made by this specific artist that has all this meaning. So they see this as their way of bringing beauty into the world, or creating beauty for the world. And like, you can't separate their work from beauty. And you see that in the way the family works too. And it's just, I can't speak how much I respect and love the whole Vira family.
Certainly had some of their wines.
Yeah, and their wines are so delicious too.
They are works of art. Truly.
So delicious.
Truly works of art.
Yeah.
And you talked about the art that they have there.
Yeah.
I truly believe that wine is art. It is science.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. It's
Yeah.
science.
Right.
But it sounds like you're also experiencing it
Oh, yeah.
in a form, in a form
Yeah.
of art. Like the way that they express this vintage
Right.
with this land
Right.
and whatever style they make their wines. Like, to me, that is a work of art that
Yeah.
we get to experience over and over and over again.
Right.
Should we be lucky to have enough bottles to last us that long?
Right. Exactly.
Well, next time we're going to drink some.
Samvira.
Yeah.
I mean, I know them all like the back of my hand. I love it.
All right. What's your favorite one?
Oh, man. You said that. And the first thing, I was already thinking about that. They make really good Riesling,
That I did not know.
which is insane. And people, when Aldo, who's Francesca's dad, planted Riesling as an experiment, everyone was like, you are crazy. This is Barolo land, and you're planting Riesling? And because he believed that it could do well there.
Interesting.
Because he believed more in that than pumping out Barolo
Right.
that he can sell. It's very hard to sell Piemontese Riesling.
And we're talking about north?
Yeah, so this is northern Italy.
Are we talking northwest-ish or just north?
Northwest, totally northwest.
Okay, northwest.
So you are like almost in France.
Got it.
Yeah,
Wow, Riesling.
yeah. And it's so good.
So we're higher elevation.
Yeah. They're at the foothills of the Alps. So it's
Okay.
not mountainous, but
Okay.
it is not low elevation
Got
wine
it.
by any stretch.
Trying to
It's a cooler climate.
flex my wine brain here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think about
Yeah.
how that grape is going to succeed there. That's very interesting. I'm going to have to look
Yeah,
into
we
that.
should drink that.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Riesling. On the next one.
Okay.
Amy,
Yeah.
tell me about something you're working on or that you're learning that you're excited about right now.
I love languages.
Oh,
And I do speak proficiently French, Italian, and Spanish.
French, Italian, and Spanish.
Yes, which is quite necessary in the
can
line of work I do, as I've come to find
imagine.
out. Because sometimes the access to the thing you want to see is a language issue. But I have kind of rededicated myself to, I'm going to say a daily practice, but I haven't done it this week, of like setting aside time to intentionally work on my language skills.
Okay. Which, all three languages you're working on?
No, I'm working on Italian right now because that's the next place I'm going back to.
Okay.
So
And so what's that been like, learning these three languages? This is something that you've been doing over the course of the years since you studied in France. I'm guessing that's where that started before.
Yeah, I started learning French in middle school,
Okay.
and I was Francophile like day one.
Tu veux continuer en français?
Oui, un peu, mais ça va être un peu difficile.
Bah oui.
Bah oui.
Mais les grandes choses, c'est difficile.
Oui, c'est vrai.
Okay. All right, we're not going to go too far into the French, but just know it's there.
It's there.
It's there. All right, so before, you said high school? You were learning
Yeah,
French?
in middle school.
Middle school, you're learning French.
And then I got, this is an absolutely nuts story too. I got the opportunity, I think it was at the end of middle school, I got invited by the city of Paris to Paris. I grew up in, I didn't personally get invited. I was part of a group that got invited. So
To what?
sing and dance hip hop.
Get out of here.
So I was a part of this hip hop group in Chicago. I grew up in Chicago.
Didn't know that.
Yep. And we were like this positive force through the language of song and dance, hip hop specifically. And we would like do cultural events, festivals.
Do we have the camera
schools.
set up for
No,
some hip hop dance right now or what?
No, hip hop is happening right now. And Chicago is Paris' sister city. And so we, as this group of kids from Chicago, most of whom had never left Chicago ever, got on a flight and went to Paris for a week and performed around Paris. So that was what I got to use my language skills.
Yeah.
And then I was hooked.
So I had a trip to France as a middle schooler,
Okay.
which absolutely changed my life as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, I can imagine this is part of what led you ultimately to get into the travel business, right? But like,
Totally.
what is it like to take someone out of Chicago or any other
Yeah.
city for that
Yeah.
matter to go to France,
Yeah.
spend a week there at such a young age? Like, what do you think that did for you and all your classmates?
I think what it did for me was just open my eyes to like really fall in love with culture as a whole thing. Like that every city, every country, every space, every language has something really unique and beautiful to share. And I just I was hooked in terms of engaging. And I guess that's my mission now more than food or wine. Like, yes, I do food and wine travel, but like what I want to do is engage culture continually. Yeah.
So I love that for so many different reasons. You know, you mentioned every country, every culture has something worth sharing.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about every human, right?
Yes.
And so to have an outlet or to have a medium, let's say like wine, that can help bridge that
Yes.
gap
Yes.
and create that connection and
Yes.
create an opportunity for you to learn about someone else and for
Yes.
you to experience what it's like to be someone else or to hear about. I
Right.
mean, like,
Right.
to me, that is the most powerful thing that we can do, you know, especially now.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many things out there that are pulling us in separate directions. And
Yes.
so I do love the fact that wine, at least the way that I like to experience it and the way that I'm
Yeah.
intentional about it, is something that we use to bring us together.
Yeah. There's something about sitting at the table with a person that just totally levels the playing field, right? Like you're both one literally on the same level, but you're sharing something and you're having an experience together.
And you said it earlier,
Yeah.
you know, when you eat with someone, when you break bread with someone,
Yeah.
you're both human, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
one of our basic
Exactly.
human needs
Yes.
is food.
Yes.
And to do that with someone else just kind of, again, brings you right on the
Yes.
same level. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So speaking of other humans,
Yeah.
if you had to share
Oh.
this bottle of wine with another human outside of me, who would you share this with and why?
Francesca's the first person that comes to mind, but because she really loves champagne. But
Do you know someone that doesn't love champagne?
I do.
Gosh, that's hard
No,
to
people
believe.
that say like, "Oh, I just don't really drink bubbly wine."
We're missing out. That's all right. More for us. More for us.
So I need to think of other people. I would love to share it with Kevin. So,
Who's Kevin?
Kevin is my business partner at the Olive Road and very, very dear friend of many years. Very few people love champagne as much as Kevin and understand it. So I'd love to share it with him because sharing any wine with him, just personally, has a lot of meaning to me, and over the years has been meaningful.
And how long have y'all been working together?
We've been working together for 3 years, but
Okay.
we've been friends for 13.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very grateful to also know Kevin.
Yeah.
Known him for a while, I'd say, but certainly over the last couple of months have gotten to know him a lot better.
Yeah.
And great news for both of us.
Great news.
We are going to be sharing
Yeah.
this wine with Kevin
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us about what we're going to be doing?
Yeah. So we have actually, I think it's a very rare and amazing opportunity for people who are into champagne. So you know very well Philippe Andre,
Yep.
who represents Charles Heidsieck in the
In the
whole
US.
U.S.
Yeah,
or
in the
just
US.
a certain part? Yeah, and so he's going to be in town. And he's coming to do a master class for us here in Carborough, which is really cool. I think a lot of times you go to tastings and you hear this or that. Oh, it pairs well with this, or it's nuanced in this way. But we really wanted to create something that engaged people on an intellectual level, because I think champagne is very intellectual wine. And especially when you're tasting a lineup of champagnes, to be able to understand what makes each of them distinctive can be really hard. And so I think having a relaxed atmosphere where we can engage the wines deeply and then have very thoughtful food experiences alongside those to kind of see how like champagne is a food wine. Mm-hmm. I mean, I served champagne with red meat the other
Yes.
night,
Thank you.
Yes.
Like anything.
Right.
Almost anything.
Right. Anything. And I think that is little understood, at least in, oh God, at least.
Let's break some glasses. That's how you know we're having fun.
You know what? You put this big, like really nice Riedel in front of me, and I'm like, I really hope I don't break it.
That's all right. We got more.
I've broken all of mine at home, so you know. Yeah.
Everybody who's got nice wine glasses has broken a lot of nice wine glasses.
Yeah.
All good. Well, yeah, I'm super excited about it. Really look forward to that event, and I appreciate your help in that.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing I would like to say about this lovely Charles Heidsieck champagne and it being here in North Carolina, I do want to give a shout out to Gary Crunkleton and the Crunkleton here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, who has recently made this their house champagne. I'm very grateful for him for his support of Charles Heidsieck and of this podcast and of me, a dear friend of mine for a long time. So, Gary, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Make sure y'all head out to the Crunkleton and grab yourself a glass of Charles Heidsieck.
It's pretty epic wine to be a house champagne.
It is incredibly epic
Yes.
for a house champagne.
Yes.
Thank you for saying
Yes.
that. I appreciate that. It's funny. Again, Gary and I have known each other for a long time. I believe I was one of the first people to walk through his doors as he opened up the Crunkleton here in Chapel Hill. Can still find my name on the wall as one of the original investors.
Ooh, look at that.
I think I paid $10 for one of the very first
but
memberships.
look.
And yeah, I got to the point where I had spent a lot of time overseas, and when I was coming back in the summertime to train in Chapel Hill and to kind of just be around North Carolina, I'd be popping into the Crunkleton, and he had some champagne there, which obviously I'm not going to name.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like it matched the level, of luxury is not the word, right? Well, that place is very special in terms of the quality of spirits that he has curated there. I mean, everybody knows Gary Crunkleton throughout the country, throughout the world, as someone who is very important in the world of spirits.
Totally.
And I thought he needed to have a champagne that was on that same level.
I would say specific would be the word.
Exactly.
Right, and intentional.
You
don't want generic champagne.
Right. And I thought that this was a great opportunity for him to bring his champagne up to a level that matched all the other great things that he's
amazing.
doing. So again, very grateful for him to do that. And it has certainly increased my champagne consumption, being so accessible here in town. But I think it's awesome and look forward to having many more bottles of it. How are you feeling?
I feel really happy.
I do too. I just think that champagne does that to you, right? Like it just has a way of doing that to you. And, Winston Churchill once said, I'm going to quote Winston Churchill here.
Yeah, look at you.
In defeat, you need it. In victory, you deserve it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like you always need champagne.
There's always a reason.
Always a reason.
Yeah.
So that leads me to my next question.
Oh, okay.
Is there something about your life right now, something you're going through, something you've just been through, something you think you will go through,
okay,
that pairs well with champagne? Again.
Yeah.
In defeat, you need it. In victory,
I think this one's
it.
actually a surprisingly easy question for me because I just had a birthday. And, no, not to celebrate. I love my birthday.
Yeah.
but
Good.
not
Let's
for that
celebrate.
reason. But every year I take some time to kind of like reflect, meditate, kind of sense what I feel the theme of the coming year might be for my life.
The coming year was okay.
And this came to me pretty quickly, and I was surprised by it, that like this year of life is about feast.
Feast.
In all the senses, in all areas of life.
Has it previously been famine?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure, there have been some famine periods, but feast more in the figurative sense of like savoring life, savoring every moment, this kind of constant celebration.
Constant celebration.
Yes.
Okay. And what are we celebrating outside of your birthday?
Oh, definitely my kids. So I have 3 daughters, and they're all in elementary school. Wow. Yeah, which I'm realizing though is this rare time where like they still like me, but
That's gonna
like
end
we can
soon.
actually do things with them
Okay.
and they're not like falling on the floor having tantrums all the time.
Okay.
So I'm like, this is a
Positive.
very small window. Like I want to feast and enjoy that.
That's great.
But then also like in my career doing Olive Road full time, which, you know, I've previously had wine jobs and done Olive Road on the side, but like getting it to a place where like this is what I'm doing feels like a feast and is very much literally a feast when I travel. So
Yeah. Cheers to that.
yeah, cheers.
And speaking of
Yeah.
feasts,
Yes.
let's talk more about the food aspect of the Olive Road.
Yeah.
Where did that love and passion come from? If I'm not mistaken, you have been to a very prestigious culinary institute school.
Yeah. Yes. So not culinary per se, but food.
Okay. Food.
So there's this thing called the slow food movement. It was founded in the 80s in Italy. Basically, McDonald's wanted to put a franchise right in the Piazza di Spagna in Rome. And many Italians, as they rightfully should, were outraged and are like, this is antithetical to our culture. And so some of them started a movement called slow food, kind of as a counter in every way to fast food and fast food culture.
Got it.
So it's now this big international thing. I was involved with it in Chapel Hill during my time at Carolina, and then learned about a university they have, which is all about gastronomic science. So that is all things food and wine. And so I went and did a master's there. Yeah, at HQ in outside the city of Turin in northern Italy. And
So what are some of your favorite things to cook?
oh gosh, you know, I love to cook everything,
Okay.
and I like to have opportunities where I can really be ambitious, and like I don't realize how ambitious the things I'm doing are until I get it to. So I just cooked this big feast, this champagne dinner thing,
I'm sorry.
for myself for my birthday and my best friends.
Did I miss the invite or what's going on?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
You
All
know,
right. No, it's all
you
good.
give me another reason,
good.
Marcus, I'll do this for you too, because I
good.
love a reason to do this. But I cooked, you know, in the various courses of that meal, I had like a scallop course and a duck course. And I did not realize how tricky duck breast can be, especially when you're
Amy,
cooking it for like a crowd.
you know that.
Yeah.
I mean, duck is that is
Well,
one
I
of the
didn't.
toughest
I mean,
things to cook.
I didn't know that because I had never.
And I don't
cooked.
cook, by the way,
I had
but,
never
like, I
cooked
know that it's
duck.
not
I mean,
easy.
I cook constantly, but I'd never cooked duck because it's shockingly hard to find here.
Yeah.
I literally bought out Whole Foods.
All their ducks.
All the duck.
How many ducks? How many ducks did you buy at Whole
It's an
Foods?
expensive trip to Whole Foods, but I'm like, it's my birthday. I can do it.
Every trip to Whole Foods.
Yeah,
is
it's true. Whole
expensive.
paycheck, right? But I like experimenting. But to be honest, what do I love to cook the most is pasta.
Okay.
Any kind of pasta. I just love throwing in whatever I have laying around and making it delicious. Making delicious things out of simple ingredients. Yeah.
And that's one thing that you definitely get a hold of when you're in Europe. Simple, high quality
Yes.
ingredients
Yes.
makes everything.
Everything. It can be a
Great.
3-ingredient dish. It'd be
Exactly.
the best thing you ever had. Yeah.
I mean, are you not also extremely frustrated at our food
Oh, yeah.
system
Oh, yeah.
here?
Totally.
I mean, I don't even know all of the things, but the dozens and dozens of things that have been banned in Europe for decades
Decades.
that we're still putting in our foods, that we're still
Yeah,
spraying
I
on
mean,
our
it's
foods.
actually scary. And then, like, we wonder why everyone has all these health issues. Yeah.
Hate to go down that rabbit hole,
Yeah,
but
no. Rabbit
speaking
hole.
of the rabbit hole, you mentioned
Isn't
how
this
you
place
mentioned how
called-
beautiful
it's
this
so
place
beautiful.
is, right? Really grateful to be here at the Rabbit Hole. You may have heard of it. It's got a little mysticism around it here locally
It is
in the Chapel Hill area.
unexpected for sure.
See,
Hidden.
thank you very much. We appreciate you letting us shoot this lovely podcast in this lovely place.
Gorgeous.
So we talked a lot about what you're celebrating.
Yeah.
Feasting. I like
Yes.
that. I would like to be thinking about how I'm going to move into a moment of feasting myself.
Yeah.
Also because I have not eaten tonight. And
Yeah, that's problematic,
it's
Marcus.
very problematic, but liquid diet.
Okay.
So celebrating.
Yes.
What do you like to drink when you're celebrating?
Yes.
We're going to celebrate this moment for you right now of stepping into the world as your true, authentic self.
Yep.
You're stepping into this world as a fantastic mother of three, running this wine-focused travel and food business.
Yep.
We're celebrating all these things. What are we going to drink to celebrate?
Yeah. So champagne is always celebration to me, but there is another wine categorically that I always go to for celebration, and it's Barolo.
Whew. One of the bees. We love all the bees.
This is, I mean, not only did I get to go to this food university where, I mean, I got this fancy degree, but really I learned how to eat and drink really well. I mean, we just did a lot of really intentional eating and drinking. So I'd say that's really what my degree is in. But the physical structure of the university is a castle that was the original cellar where Barolo was made. Like the first, they call Barolo the king of wines because it was originally made for the Savoyan king who lived in this castle, in this little village called Palenzo, which is now home to the University of Gastronomic Sciences. So that wine in particular has enormous importance to me and was very formative. Aside from me just thinking it's the most interesting, nuanced, delicious wine in the world. So for real, like celebration occasions, I always try to get my hands on some good Barolo.
Well, Amy, is there anything that we have not covered tonight that you want to talk about?
Sure. So we alluded to this trip that we're going on together, but I think people could know that they could potentially be a part of it.
And come with us.
And they could come with us.
Well, tell them what they need to know.
And also, what are we going to do aside from, meet with folks who are making what I think are the best champagnes, and then going to Alsace, which is an incredibly beautiful place. So, yeah. So we will spend 8 days together.
Okay.
And I mean, this trip is going to be, for me personally, like out of this world. I'm so excited. This is next level. So starting off with this Charles Heisig experience. So we're staying at this private residence owned by the Charles Heisig Winery. We're going to have a private Michelin-starred chef. Like we're not going to his restaurant.
He's coming to
He's
us.
coming to
Coming to
us.
us, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we'll have that kind of culinary experience, a meal at the winery itself, and then meals and experiences with these smaller growers in Champagne as well. But then we also have Kevin, who's an amazing chef, as you know.
Yep.
And so he will definitely play a part in facilitating some really cool food and wine experiences for us in a really personal and private way.
Okay, so how do we get everybody involved with that?
Yeah, so I mean, they can reach out to you through all your channels. They can reach out to me if they want more information. oliveroadtravel.com is our website. You can email me directly at hello@oliveroadtravel.com. This will be in September 2026. It's going to be once in a lifetime. I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, Amy, thank you so much for being here
thank
tonight.
you. Thanks for sharing the wine.
Of course. I think that this is exactly what I think about when I think about the wine experience and getting to meet interesting people and have wonderful conversations. And I really appreciate the fact that we got to know each other through wine.
Yeah, me
Cheers.
too. Thanks, Marcus. Cheers.